Man, what's good, YouTube, man? It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka I'm not watching this. You know what I mean? Anybody that wants to say I'm not watching this, you know what I mean? It's over. Blue Jays won. Don't expect the game 4 reaction. I'm not watching it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's over. We lost 6-1. They won, man. You know, they're not the Stankies. They showed us they're not the Stankies, man. You know what I mean? So you know, I don't care to watch it. You know, I'm gonna just keep it real. I just don't care to watch it, man. You know what I'm saying? So don't ask, all right? Jays, where's the game 3 in game? I'm shut up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's over, man. You know what? The Blue Jays looks different. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But anyways, man, it's your boy. It's your boy, man, Jay Willie Silly, man, aka Mr. Take It Easy. Before you end up like Beezy, man, make sure y'all follow my Twitch, man. Subscribe to my second channel. Like I said, I uploaded 3 new videos on my second channel, the Madden 25 franchise, episode 1, 2, and 3. So make sure y'all go look out for that. But we got scary stories back. You know, 3 disturbing true childhood horror stories. And there's always something about the childhood, man. It's always something about the childhood, man. You know, but me, man, speaking of childhood, man, do I miss mine? Man, our childhood went away so fast. It like went away in a blink of an eye. It's like, because for me, I consider my generation the best generation of all time. Honestly, I do. Because we not like this generation. We're not like the old school generation. And if y'all don't know, I'm 23 years old, so I am a 2002 baby. So I'm an early 2000s kid, like right on the 90s. But it's like with us, man, we got what, this is the specific reason of why I say we like the best generation. Our generation got both sides of the spectrum. You know, with these little kids growing up, they don't know how life feels without social media. I rarely see, like I told y'all, when I be out, like when I be going outside in my neighborhood, y'all, I don't see any little kids playing. It's rare that I see little kids playing, bro. It be empty outside. Kids riding bicycles. Kids jumping on trampolines. Y'all know, like, in the neighborhood where I was at, my homeboy named Tez, he had a little basketball goal. The only basketball goal in the neighborhood. Man, the whole freaking block. We can go from Khalil, we can go from Jezreel and Gabe, me, my big brother. Man, everybody used to play on that goal, man. One goal, but we used to play, man, bruh. He had one goal, and it was a black basketball. Everybody, but we used to be out there from the break, bro. But that was good times, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like me thinking about that junk, I actually kind of got a little emotional, bro, thinking about that junk. It's like, dang, bro, like I'll never get that again. Like we'll never be, you know, I'll never get that junk again. And it was just like, and why I say that, y'all, because like we know how it feels to go outside. Like we know how it feels to be outside, y'all. I'm talking about y'all till the street lights come on. If these kids go outside today, they only gonna be outside for at least an hour. Man, we used to be outside, man, till the break of dawn, boy. I'm talking about y'all. But I used to go outside and y'all, this is me having no phone. I didn't even know what social media was. Like for me, bro, like, bro, I ain't know what none of that junk was, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. So it's like me going outside, but that's the only thing I really could do and watch Disney Channel and play my Xbox 360. But man, I used to go to my boy Scooter house. Little man, big man, bro, we used to be outside from 11 a.m. to like 8 o'clock. And a lot of y'all probably looking like, bro, what? Bro, yes. These kids don't know how that feel, but these kids on TikTok. Wasn't no TikTok growing up. And you got to understand, Instagram, it was Instagram growing up with us, bro. But it was just the start of Instagram. And that's why I say our generation is better, because we got 2 spectrums. And what I meant by that is that we got the start of, so we got the old school and we got the start of social media. You know, back then in 1980s and 70s, they didn't have phones, bro. They probably had phones, but it was them big old phones. They didn't have social media. We did. So they only got one side of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? They only got old school. These kids today, they don't know how it feels to not have any social media. All they know is Instagram. All they know is Facebook. And like I said, we had that, but it was the start of it. This was the start of social media when we was little. Social media ain't been out. This like was the start of social media. It was newly, like Instagram was, when I was little, Instagram was newly fresh. Facebook was newly fresh. Twitter, newly fresh. That junk was just now popping. You feel me? Now, that's all y'all grew up on. That's why I said we got two stuff. We got the old school way of living and we got the new school. We coming into the new school. That's why I say, bro, ain't no generation. I had to just talk about that, bro. Because I seen the childhood horror story. I just had to speak on that, bro. Ain't nobody seeing my generation. I don't care. We had the best TV shows, bro. We had the best movies, bro. We had the best songs. I'm gonna give it to the 90s. But I'm not gonna really give it to the 90s though, because we had bangers too, bro. All the white girl music, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had all that junk, bro. I ain't gonna cap. So it's like with music, I really won't give it to the 90s though. They had Lauryn Hill, they had the Jack, but we had music too now. We had them bangers too. They just had a lot of, you know, R&B legends. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. Yeah, they got that music jump. Hey, yeah, they got that. I can't deny that. They got that R&B jump, you know what I'm saying? But we got hits too though, you know what I mean? We got hits too. I had to think about it. I'm like, yeah, it's too many legends. It's too many legends back then.
When I was a kid, it's not something I talk about much or even think about really. Whenever I do, it gives me an icky feeling inside. Hard to describe. Maybe writing it down will give me some measure of release or whatever, but who knows. I went to a boarding school out in the suburbs. I was there starting in 8th grade, and I ended up staying through most of high school. I shared a room with this kid named Weston. We weren't close at first, just kind of thrown together like everyone else, but over time we got used to each other. The room itself was basic, 2 beds, 2 desks, and a tiny shared closet. After a few weeks, I started picking up on some weird stuff about Weston. For starters, he gave me a list of items I wasn't allowed to bring back to the room, completely out of the blue too. Like he just walked up to me with a folded piece of paper, as if it were some customary thing to be expected of a roommate.
Hey gang, that off the rip, bro, we had a problem right there. Hey bro, I'm my own man, bro. You ain't my dad, bro. You ain't my mom. So all that you giving me a list, bro, get out my face. I would have told Weston straight up, bro. Would have balled it up in his face. Hey, bro. Get the freak out of my face, bro. You not my pops, bro. A lot of y'all don't be having no spine, though. You let a person do whatever they want to you. I ball it up in Weston's face, bro. Get that junk out my face, gang. Bring back whatever I want to bring back. I'm gonna respect your space for sure. For sure, Leo. I ain't gonna eat your food. I ain't gonna do none of that. But bro, don't give me no list, bro, like you my dad or something telling me what not to bring back to the room. Man, this is my room just as much as it's yours. So off the rip, I would have knew bro was strange off the rip. Cause who you talking to? Giving a list of who? What stop?
As if that wasn't strange enough, the list itself was even stranger. There were a bunch of random things on it that didn't even remotely make sense. I can't remember all of it, but apparently I wasn't allowed to bring frogs into the room, as if I ever had any intention of doing that. I didn't even know where anyone would even find a frog, let alone why they would bring it into their room. But the strangest thing on the list by far was salt. You don't eat salt, so I couldn't imagine why he'd feel the need to tell me that. What, did he think I'd just bring a salt shaker to the room for no reason? That was absurd. Plus, it was frowned upon to bring any food items back to your dorm, which added to the mystery. And beyond that, what kind of problem could salt even pose in the first place? As far as I knew, salt allergies weren't a thing, so I couldn't imagine what he was trying to avoid with that one. It was just bizarre, especially because of how serious he was about it.
That nigga doing witchcraft.
It was his form of a joke, but I'm telling you, this kid did not know what humor was. He also had this habit of muttering to himself, not just occasionally, like full-on whispering under his breath, especially at night when the lights were off. I'd catch little pieces of it sometimes, like he was talking to someone, but there was never anyone else in the room. It was really freaky at first, especially when he accidentally woke me up while doing it. But like everything else, I eventually got used to it. He also kept this little notebook.
Bro, ain't no getting used to that, bro. Bro, let me out. Let me out. You know, ain't no getting used to it, bro. You do the first weird jump to me, and I don't know you, gang. I'm telling you, do the first weird jump to me, bro. Bro, I'm out, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You strike, bro. You get strike 1 with me, bro. You don't get strike 2 and strike 3. Ain't no getting used to that. Strike 2, you out. You feel me? That's for surely only. I don't play with people, cuz. I don't play with all that little weird junk, cuz. You know, I don't play with that junk. All that whispering to yourself, bro. I don't do that. I'm gonna walk out the room, bro. Somebody give me a new roommate, bro. Bro, whisper. Why do you want to switch a roommate, Jay? What did he do, man? He's whispering to himself, man. Trying to go to sleep. He's whispering to himself. I'm in a dead sleep, man. Bro, wake me out my sleep. You know, he's whispering to somebody and nobody's here. I gotta get out immediately. I'm in a room with a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? I bet I sleep outside. I'd rather sleep in the gym than sleep in a nigga with that. I'd rather sleep in the gym than sleep in the room with a nigga. Like, I'm telling you, I'll be getting the freak up out of there, bro. Don't play that weird junk, bro. Bro, sleeping, bro, talking to yourself in the room. Bro, what? I ain't never did that day in my life. Unless I'm talking to God. Now, you talking to God, I ask him, you talking to God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you praying to God, talking to God or something. You know what I'm saying? He say, nope, gotta go. You ain't talking to God. You talking to yourself, though.
Wasn't anything crazy until I realized what was in it.
I'll check if you're talking to God first.
Let anyone see it made me think it was something embarrassing or personal, but I was wrong. I knew for a fact that he kept it buried under his mattress.
Bruh.
My curiosity swelled over this time, ultimately getting the better of me.
What's gonna kill you?
One day when he was out of the room, I felt around under his mattress until I found it. The vast majority of it was empty, but there were a few pages that had writing on them. It took me all of 2 seconds to realize what I was looking at. It was a long list of names, and a bunch were scratched out.
He killed them.
I read through it and realized that a bunch of the names were kids I knew from school. I frantically scanned it for my name, and I was horrified to actually find it in there, on one of the last pages. It wasn't crossed out, which I figured was a good thing, but I had no idea what any of it meant. There wasn't anything else in there though, just the names, most of which were not crossed out. I tried deciphering it, but there was nothing special about the list. As I was putting it back, I couldn't help but wonder why someone would be so secretive over something so harmless. Were it not for the way Weston protected that thing with his life, I probably would have brushed it off as a list of people he didn't like at school or something. But for whatever reason, seeing that list gave me this really sick feeling inside, like Weston was more than just a socially awkward kid. For weeks after that, I was extremely paranoid that he somehow knew what I had done, and I started worrying that he was going to do something to me. We didn't interact much to begin with, but I could have sworn I caught him glaring at me much more often than he ever had. This unexplainable sense of fear started hanging over me, and I gradually spent more and more time outside my dorm. I had a decent amount of friends, and it got to a point where I was spending more time in my friends' dorms than my own. Then one night, something happened that made all my paranoia feel justified. I woke up randomly in the middle of the night. I had no idea what time it was, but it was pitch black outside, and I couldn't see anything. At first, I thought I had woken up to Weston's muttering again, but as my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I realized the reality was much worse. Weston wasn't muttering. That's because instead, he was literally towering over my bed, just standing there in the dark, smiling. His hands were slightly raised, like he was about to do something, but had frozen mid-motion. I screamed. I couldn't help myself, and I sat up in the bed. Despite my outburst, he didn't stop smiling. He didn't even flinch at my scream. He just kept looking down at me, without even altering his stance. The shock of having been woken up like that was one thing, but the way he didn't even react made it even scarier. When I finally demanded to know what he was doing, he just said I'd been talking in my sleep. Like that shell of a response somehow explained everything. Like it was totally normal to be standing over someone's bed at 2 in the morning. I didn't know what to say. I was still partly in shock, and the way he kept smiling, even after explaining himself, discouraged me from asking any more questions. He went back to his bed without another word. I stayed awake the rest of the night, and not by choice. The next morning, I tried bringing it up. I felt more comfortable and honestly more safe asking him about it now that there was daylight in the room.
Bro, what we asking about? Like, bro, you ain't got no spine about you, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have slapped the taste out of Weston's mouth. Like, bro, I would have dead for real slapped the dog piss out of his mouth. Nigga, I would have slapped, Weston, what the? Nigga. I would have slapped the dog piss out of Weston, man. Y'all, it's like y'all folks be scared of people, man. I would have slapped the dog piss out of Weston's mouth. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. All that explaining, what is there to explain, my brother? This weird little boy was just standing over your bed midnight. If that's not weird enough, what is there to explain? Bro is standing over your bed while you're sleeping, smiling at you. Who does that, man? Like, and you talking about explain. You want to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. This boy is scared of Weston. Weston has this boy in fear for his life. In order for your life to be saved, you need to go to somebody and get out of that room immediately, or you will be another statistic. Well, this upcoming morning, you know, police were called to dorm 104. A tragic, you know, thing happened. This boy by the name of Weston murdered his roommate. You know, Weston is not here at the moment. The police are still in search for Weston, but a very tragic thing to happen. That's gonna be you on the news in 1.5 seconds if you don't get out that room. We seen a lot of you. I seen a lot of you, gang. But I did true crime where people got killed by their daddy. Man, I done true crime, man, where people got, man, I done true crime about, man, I've seen some stuff, bro. I'm telling you, gang, get out that room, I'm telling you. I've seen true crime of a little girl, a little sister killing her little brother asleep, stabbing him in the chest like multiple times. I've done true crime like that. You don't believe me? Go see my true crime video. You don't believe me? Go see my true crime. You think I'm finna deal with Weston after what I seen? Nigga, please. Like, literally.
But he acted.
I've seen gruesome stuff. I'm not finna like.
Confused, like he genuinely didn't know what I was talking about. Not in an angry way either. More in like an okay man, whatever you say kind of way. Like he thought I was making it up as some kind of joke. I couldn't decide whether he was just a really good liar or whether he truly didn't remember the incident. I couldn't decide which was worse. After that, my fear only got worse, and not just of Weston. It's hard to explain, but I started being afraid of the room itself, like his presence had infected it somehow. Even when he wasn't there, I felt uncomfortable in my own dorm. Things only got worse. About a week later, I came back to the room one night to find a small garden snake on my bed.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Look at this. Like, bro doing witchcraft. Bro is doing witchcraft. That junk is real. That boy got deep. You say you feeling uncomfortable even when he's not in your room? That's demons, bro. That's demonic spirits. That boy doing witchcraft. That's why I say when you don't put no freaking paws and no salt. That boy doing witchcraft, bro. That boy, when he muttering, that boy doing witchcraft, gang. That boy bringing a snake in the room, bro, doing witchcraft.
I felt uncomfortable.
Bro trying to put them spells on you. You better get out of that room, gang. You know it's something demonic going on. You feeling very uncomfortable with bro not even in the room. You know it's something going on.
In my own dorm. Things only got worse. About a week later, I came back to the room one night to find a small garden snake on my bed.
And what the freak, bro?
There was a live snake on my bed. I again screamed and looked over at Weston, who was just sitting there at his desk with this blank expression on his face. He actually apologized this time and said that it was just meant to be a harmless prank, but I didn't take it that way. When I asked where he'd even gotten a snake.
Harmless prank? Nigga, you trying to prank me with a real snake? But I understand if it was a playful snake, if it was a rubber snake, then I would have. Heck yeah, man, boy play too much. Boy trying to play with me with a little rubber snake. Boy, you tripping, Weston. Cuz trying to play a prank with a real snake. Oh my God. This nigga finna die.
In the first place, he looked at me all confused and said something I will never forget. He said, "What do you mean? They're everywhere." I didn't know what to say to that. I was worried that if I said the wrong thing, he might actually try to hurt me. I had never seen a single snake on campus, but we were surrounded by woods, so maybe he was right. But what really freaked me out was when he opened this jar on his desk, and the snake just slithered right in all on its own, like it wanted to be captured. I didn't understand how a wild animal would just do that. The whole thing, from finding the snake to his creepy response to the way it behaved, was freaky. Freakier than I'm describing it. I didn't report it. My young and naive self.
Dang, bro. Dang, well, I don't know how many warnings you gonna get. Dang. You must wonder. You talking about young and naive. I don't care how young I was never that stupid. So don't blame that on young and naive. No, blame it on you just being stupid. When I was a young bro, when I was young, I wasn't stupid. When I was young, I knew a weird nigga. I ain't just sticking around when I was young like that. I promise you that. So don't blame it on being young and naive. You just a stupid nigga.
Couldn't get over what Weston would do if I got him in trouble.
And Weston, I'll slap the taste out of Weston mouth.
Remember, I was just so young. I was 13.
At 13, I had common sense. I mean, I still had maturing. But 13, bro, I had common sense, girl. Bro, 13, I was in the freaking 7th grade, gang. I went to a magnet school. I had a lot of common sense at 13. I don't know why people be thinking because they're young, bro, like, kids don't be smart, bro. We smart as freak, bro. I remember stuff from, like, bro, I remember stuff, bro, from, bro, I'm telling you, kids remember stuff, bro. Y'all need to stop going around thinking kids don't. Man, I remember stuff when I remember my kindergarten teacher, bro. Miss Griffin, bro. I remember my kindergarten teacher. I remember my 1st grade teacher, Miss Hartzog. My 2nd grade teacher, Miss Baker. My 3rd grade teacher, Miss Bradley. Not my 4th grade teacher, Miss Bowie. My 5th grade teacher, Miss freaking Stokes. What you mean? I remember Landmark Elementary School, bro. I knew exactly what I was doing, bro, in kindergarten. I was like, they be thinking these folks, I knew exactly what was going on, bro, when I was in kindergarten. I knew exactly what was going on, gang. Like, I swear, bro, these folks be thinking little kids should be dumb, bro. But little kid be smart, be doing things around little kids think they don't remember that junk you want to. But little kid be smart, bro. And I know you probably the same way. You remember stuff when you were little, too. Nigga be talking about, bro, you don't remember. Like, when I be bringing up my Giants, bro, we won in 2012. I was 10 years old in 2012, bro. I started playing football when I was 6 years old, gang. Like, literally, bro, I know what I'm doing. Like, I literally, like, know what I'm doing, gang. Like, I'm literally playing football. I know the plays. Coach Phillip, that was my coach, played for the Dale County Warriors. Literally, bro. Speaking facts, I'm looking you dead in your eyes, bro. You know what I'm saying? I knew the plays and everything, 4-8 power, all that, 4-2. Bro, I knew all that. I knew exactly what I was doing. And when I bring up my Giant Super Bowl, bro, you're like 6, I was 10 years old, bro. I remember, bro, like it was yesterday, bro. We was in our little apartment, bro. It was the freaking New York Giants versus the Patriots, bro. We eating hot wings, bro. You know what I'm saying? Literally watching Eli and them go to work. I'm literally watching the Super Bowl on my TV. Been playing football since I was 6 years old. Knew exactly what I was watching, gang. I swear, bro, these folks be thinking a little kid stupid, bro. Nigga be thinking a little nigga stupid, like a nigga don't know what's going on. I'm just being real, bro. Y'all need to stop thinking that, bro. Stop thinking a little kid don't know what the freak going on, but you little kid be smarter than a lot of y'all grown-ups, bro. You wonder why your son turned out the way he is, bro. Look what you doing around a little nigga, bro. Little nigga remember that junk, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And y'all the same way. You remember stuff when you was like 4 years old, 5 years old. You remember that junk? I'm in my whole childhood dang near. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So stop thinking that little kids ain't smart or little kids stupid, like they ain't got no knowledge. I hate people that be thinking that. I don't hate people, but I hate the way people be thinking when they think that junk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do things around little kids, bro. Watch how they pick it up. Watch how they remember that. Stop doing things around little kids. Stop thinking little kids stupid. I remember everything from my childhood.
I wasn't old enough to know how to deal with the
No
situation.
Cap.
The breaking point came from
I wasn't old enough to know how to deal with the situation. I knew exactly what to deal with the situation. But me, bro, I'm exactly like, I was a smart, I didn't play that junk. And I was already a mischievous kid. And I was a cusser too. I was a fighter. I was a demon. I wasn't a demon, but I wasn't a goalie at all. I knew God, but I didn't know about God. I was a demon. What is that? But with the F blank and a blank, what's the blank? Get the F. I would have beat blank, 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 and a blank, blank. Bro, I was a mischievous little kid. I was not like this kid. I would cuss Weston. I would have hit Weston right in his jaw. Word up. I was a bad, I was mischievous. I was a devil gang cop. I would say, weird as heck, you blank.
Nights later, it started with what I thought was a nightmare. I was in sleep paralysis, totally unable to move.
Weston with that
spell. There was a dark mass swirling around the ceiling. It was kind of like a blob and kind of like a cloud, and it was pulsing like it was alive, or at least breathing. It kept shifting and moving, and I could only watch as it started descending toward my bed. Then this claw, or something like a claw, emerged from the mass and started scratching at my bed frame, and then it started reaching for me. But before it could grab me, it suddenly recoiled like something had burned it or scared it off. And then it went completely crazy. It started flying around the room really fast, like it was angry or wounded. It knocked a bunch of stuff off our desks and rummaged through our closet, and in one abrupt motion, it flew towards the window and smashed right through it, disappearing into the darkness outside. The second I heard the shattering glass, my eyes snapped open. Only my neck was already pointed in the direction of the window, like I had been facing that way the whole time. And all at once, I realized why that was so terrifying. The window was actually shattered. What's worse was that there were shards of glass falling to the floor in real time, like it had just been broken moments ago. The rest of the room looked identical to what the scene in my dream had looked like. It was a perfect one-to-one match. Despite being confident that I was now awake, I still couldn't move, but it was the most terrifying moment of my life. I tore my eyes away from the window and realized there were long scratches in my bed frame, in the exact spot that claw in my dream had scraped.
Jump demonic, but that's demonic spirits. That is spirits, gang. What you seen was real. That's what people don't understand, bro. That is the demonic spirit, bro. Demons, gang. Demons. That boy got demon. That room is demonic, bro. Bro. Demons, bro.
It didn't go away, but the paralysis did. As soon as I could move again, my first thought was that Weston had done it somehow. I went to his bed, but he was fast asleep. He was even snoring, but I wasn't gonna let him fool me again. I started shaking him, knowing he was faking it, but he didn't wake up. I kept shaking him, and the longer he stayed asleep, the more desperately I wished he'd wake up. It was such a nasty feeling. I was both deathly terrified of him and deathly terrified of what it would mean if he hadn't been behind the whole thing, if my nightmare hadn't been a nightmare. The moment I started thinking about that possibility, I started shaking. I wanted to be able to blame him for what had happened, or at least have some other person to make me feel less lonely and afraid, but he didn't wake up. It was too much for me to handle. I went back to my bed, curled up in a ball, and started crying. I didn't know what else to do. The broken window was real. The ransacked room was
Nigga, leave the room, man, bro. Leave the room and go to your other partner's room. I mean, bro, you said you got a lot of friends, right? So why the freak? I don't care, bro. I don't care if I'm not allowed to go to anybody else's room. I'm going to somebody else's room tonight. I don't care what the rules is. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to somebody else's room.
Real. The scratches in the bed frame were real. A few minutes later, Weston finally woke up. He seemed genuinely shocked at the state of the room. I thought that meant we were in it together, but no. Instead, he accused me of having gone through his stuff, and we got into a screaming match. I couldn't believe he was trying to blame the whole thing on me when he was the psychotic one. He started hissing at me like a cat, and then he started yelling in a foreign language, one I had never heard before. It was not normal. Normal people don't do that. I felt like he was about to attack me. Things get kind of blurry after that. The RA showed up at our door, probably because of all the noise, and he escorted both of us out. I ended up sleeping in a vacant room that night. When I woke up the next morning, I was freezing. It took me a few seconds to realize why. The window in that room was wide open, even though I definitely remember it being closed.
Oh, what the f?
No one else was supposed to be in there. That was the nail in the coffin. My brain was already working on a rational explanation for what had happened the night before, but seeing that open window destroyed it all. One of the RAs told me to go get my things from my old room. When I got there, all of Weston's stuff was already gone. He must have cleared it out earlier that morning. Nobody told me what was going on. The administration just moved me to a different room with a different roommate. When I asked about Weston, they said he was no longer my concern. I never saw him again. Honestly, I don't remember much about the remainder of my time at that school. I think my brain just shut everything down and locked everything out as a last resort or some kind of coping mechanism. I don't think I'll ever know what was wrong with that kid Weston, but I don't care. I've thought of every possible explanation for what happened that night, and none of them make any sense. The window was broken from the inside. Anything that might have smashed it from the outside would have been lying on the floor. And I have trouble convincing myself that it was Weston. Not only because of how heavily he had been sleeping, but also because of how quickly I had woken up after the nightmare. I would have seen him rushing back to his bed. Something abnormal happened that night, and it terrifies me to think that I might have witnessed it. That my nightmare hadn't been a nightmare.
Telling y'all, boy. Demons, boy. I be trying to tell people, I'm like, bro, we spirits, man.
When I was little,
I'm tired of people thinking that we're normal. Like, that's one thing that I cannot stand. And like I said, bro, I escaped the Matrix. I don't look at the world like other people look at the world. I go outside and be amazed by God's creation. I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, I'd be amazed at the creation. I'd be amazed at what I'm upon. Like, I look at the sky. Like, sometimes I look at the sky, look at the clouds. One of my favorite things to do is look at the clouds, gang. I feel like God just be drawing. Like, I just be looking. So I just be like, y'all ever look at the clouds and it look too real? Like, I've seen rabbits in the sky. Y'all probably like, bro, this boy tweaking, smoking off the dopey dope, man. Bro, look at them clouds. No, I ain't tripping. I love cloud watching. And some of me, I love cloud watching. But I be looking at the clouds. I seen a dragon clouds. God be drawing. Bro, God be drawing dragons. Straight up, bro. God be teasing me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, Jay, look. Look what I can do with the cloud. Like, I'm like, what the God, what the freak? You know what I mean? Like, we know you God. Like, bro, we know, gang. Like, he be I'm telling you, bro. I feel like he probably like, Jay, you just talking. Bro, God, bro, I be seeing you, not bro, Father, sorry. I be seeing you drawing dragons. I'm not lying, God, I promise you I'm not lying. And we, right now. And this ain't even no video. Forget them. God, I seen a rabbit. God drew a rabbit in the sky, I'm telling you. That man be drawing rabbits. But I'm telling you, them clouds, man, be animals, man. Them clouds be scary sometimes. Bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, them clouds be scaring me sometimes, bro. For real. Like, bro, they y'all looking too real. I'm like, bro, dragon finna come out the sky, gang. For real, bro. This junk not normal, bro. For real. Like, y'all be seeing these creatures that be amongst us. Y'all, just look at the creatures that's amongst us. Y'all, we live around monsters, and everybody trying to act like this normal. Y'all, think about it. When we go to sleep, you see what just happened to him? That's not normal. Y'all, we living in the spiritual world. We're living in a crazy world. And everybody, we walking around like it's normal because we're used to it. Do y'all know we're floating around in the galaxy right now? Y'all, we're floating around on a freaking rock. Like, think about, look at your eyes, bro. You got eyes. Bro, I can think of, look, I'm just trying to pull you out of the matrix right quick and show you for who you truly are. Bro, you dream, bro. You're not normal. We're just used to all this. We've gotten used to the great. Look, just look around you, man. Bro, I want you to drive across the beach, bro. Look at the ocean. Look at all this water here. Who put this in? This is not normal. We're just used to this. Man, bro, who put all this water here? I know who put all the water. But we got sharks. We got all these monsters. Bro, we're living amongst monsters. Real life. And we just walking around this thing like this junk normal. This junk ain't normal, gang. Big old cockroaches. Bro, we living around monsters around here. Straight monsters. Alligators, crocodiles, things that will haunt monsters, bro. Things that you see in movies that are real. For real, gang. I be trying to tell y'all, bro, this junk don't be, man, y'all better escape the matrix. Stop thinking this junk normal. Like, bro, you're not normal. You're normal, but you're not normal, gang. You can literally daydream and think about something, bro, and it's like it's right here. You can literally make up a scene in your head right now just by thinking it. It's like you looking at a TV screen. A normal person can do that. God didn't make us normal. People try to make us feel like we normal, man. Just think about it, y'all, bro. Everything that is on the earth came from a person's mind. I gotta preach something today. I gotta preach something. I feel it. God's saying preach, so I'm finna preach. Everything, y'all gotta understand, this YouTube channel came from my mind, gang. Literally, I thought about being a YouTuber. Look at me. Look at me now. Whoa. Look at me now. Whoa. Whoa. I'm getting paper. Y'all, this came from my mind, gang. I imagined this junk and it's reality. Man, if that's not powerful, bro, I don't know what the freak is, bro. I'm trying to show you you ain't normal, gang. You looking at me like, man, you better get up and shout or something, man. I'm trying to preach to you. I'm trying to show you you ain't normal, bro. Everything, this computer, this chair, everything that is in this world came from a person mind. A person thought of it. You telling me you normal? Man, you better start looking at yourself like you ain't normal. I ain't normal. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I ain't normal. I know I ain't God. I'm not Jesus Christ. Nobody's them. We can't be them. But besides them, I ain't normal. I ain't a God. I ain't none of that. But I'm a human, but I ain't no normal human. You feel me? That's all. I just had to say that, bro. We looking around this world, man. Look around, man. Go outside one day, man. Put your phone down sometime. Then go outside, bro. Just look at the world. Just look around, man. Breathe the air, man. Just enjoy God's creation, man. You know what I'm saying?
Send me to my grandparents' farm in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks.
See, it's something about them grandparents' farms. It's something about them farms. It's something about grandparents. I ain't never like staying in my grandma dear house. I ain't gonna lie to you. Love you, grandma dear. Don't let my grandma dear, man. But I ain't never like staying in my grandma dear house. Especially my grandma. I told you, I'm telling you, I remember like it was yesterday. I seen my grandma Ruby sleepwalking. Hey, Brian, you watching this? Bro, I'm dead for real. Talking about my little cousin right now. Hey, Brian, I seen Grandma Ruby sleepwalking, cuz. I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna slide the text like Grandma Ruby fast. Yeah, I tweak it. Like, Grandma, bro, I see my Grandma Ruby sleepwalking. I was spending that about, I see my Grandma Ruby sleepwalking, gang. I was like, Grandma, bro, I'm finna slide the text out your mouth, cuz. Okay, who you is, bro? Come at me with that demonic. I'm gonna slap the text out of Grandma Ruby mouth. Okay, who you is? I don't play that. I'll slap mama. I'll slap you back to some common sense. Come around me acting straight.
I was little. My parents would send me to my grandparents'
Mama,
farm in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks every summer.
Granddad,
the house sat
come around me acting straight you want to. I'm gonna slap the taste out your mouth.
Mostly more woods than farm. My cousin Francisco would come for different weeks because our parents wanted to give our grandparents a break between visits. I always went first 2 weeks of July. He always went last 2 weeks of August. The house had 3 floors, but the 3rd floor was just an attic with one finished room that used to be my dad's when he was my age. That's where I slept.
Nigga slept in the attic.
Slanted down on both sides, and there was one window that overlooked the backyard into the woods. My grandparents went to bed early, usually before 9. My parents told me it was rude to stay up past them, so I'd stay in my room after they wished me goodnight.
It was rude. I can't stand all this old school junk, man. I can't stand that junk. It was rude. It's rude because I want to go to sleep, man. I can't stand all that ear junk. It's rude. How is it rude? If I ain't making no noise, my grandma and granddad cut in.
My parents told me it was rude to stay up past them,
man, look.
So I'd stay in my room after they wished me goodnight. I wouldn't sleep though.
Ain't nothing rude about it.
Reading with a flashlight or playing my Game Boy. There wasn't much else to do there. The first summer went by without incident, but I started noticing weird things the second summer I was there. On one of the first nights, I was reading in bed when I heard footsteps on the attic stairs. They sounded soft, like someone was trying to be quiet. I watched as the door handle turned and pushed open about 6 inches. As soon as I saw the door opening, I shut my light off and pretended to be asleep. I honestly thought it was my grandma coming to check on me, and I was worried that I'd get in trouble if she found out I was awake. But I didn't hear anything after that. No receding footsteps or the sound of the door closing. I forced myself to sleep, assuming I had either missed my grandma leaving or she was still watching me for whatever reason. The next morning, I told my grandpa about the footsteps. He said the house was old and made noises, and that raccoons sometimes got in the walls. I thought that was an especially strange explanation because I was pretty sure I had seen the door handle turn, but I didn't want to say that. The footsteps were
I would have told him, raccoons, Grandpa. Yeah, I don't think of raccoons. See, that's what I'm saying. You always trying to hold stuff to yourself. Yeah, I tell boy what it is. Yeah, Grandpa, I understand that, but Grandpa, I seen, did you come check on me yesterday? Did you or Grandma get out the bed and come check on me? Cause I seen the door, my door handle turning. I don't think a raccoon do that, Grandpa. So, you came and checked on me. Ask Grandma, did she come check on me right quick? We gonna nettle this. We gonna nip this in the bud. We ain't finna wash this away. Oh no, Grandpa, I seen that door turning. You know what I mean? Unless you got some smart raccoons, I need to know what the heck going on around here. Unless you got some smart raccoons made in the lab and they got common sense to twist some doorknobs. But I'm pretty sure, Grandpa, you ain't got that. So, Grandpa, I need to know who twisted my door midnight. We're going to dip this in the bud now. Right now.
Too soft to be his anyway, so I just assumed it was my...
Was it you, Grandma, or Grandpa?
I was actually aware of it. 3 nights later, I woke up, or at least I thought I woke up, because my bed was shaking.
Bro, what the heck going on around here?
Standing at the foot of my bed.
For real?
It was dark, but I could see their outline. I couldn't tell which of my grandparents it was.
Grandma!
But it still scared me nonetheless.
Grandpa!
I closed my eyes and silently counted to 100. When I opened them, the person was gone. I convinced myself it had just been a nightmare, but it didn't feel like one. When I woke up the next morning, my closet door was open, even though I knew it had been closed the night before, which made me doubt whether I had truly been asleep. I started suspecting my grandma was spying on me while I was asleep, as stupid as that sounds.
Spying?
It was the only explanation that made sense to me. Elderly people don't always have the best control over their minds after all. It was scary, but I didn't want to bring it up to my grandparents again.
Man, bring it up,
man. Or disrespecting them.
Man, dang, I'm disrespecting somebody because I'm scared, man. Look, man, heck with that, man. You better tell Grandma what the freak going on, gang. All the freaking disrespect. Hey, bro, you gonna keep dealing with that? You think I'm gonna keep dealing with that? Hey, Mama, I would do like this. Yeah, I would do like this. Hey, man, look, Mama, I want to come home. Call Mama straight on the phone. Hey, Grandma, if I ain't got no phone, Grandma, can I use your phone right quick? Hey, Mama, I want to go home, man. I just spent the summer at our house or something, man. Something going weird around here, Grandma and Grandpa out, man. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, your mama weird, gang. I'm gonna say something. Your mama weird. Your daddy weird. What you mean my mama and daddy weird? Don't disrespect them. Look up. Your mom and dad weird, cause look, in the middle of the night, I'm seeing somebody standing beside my bed, man. Just a few nights, Mama. Just look, I know it's your mom and daddy, but let me tell you about your weird mom and daddy right quick. The other night, right, I'm sleeping. And I hear footsteps. And I hear a doorknob twisting, Mother, and it opened. And I thought it was Grandma, right? I thought it was Grandpa, but I go to confront Grandpa the next day, and he said his raccoon's my mother. I know that's not the case. I know it ain't the case. That was human. And then, after this, I woke up, and you won't believe it, Mama, I seen somebody at the edge of my bed. It had to be Grandma and Grandpa. It had to be. Get me out of here! I need to leave immediately. I don't care if that's your mama and your daddy. You got a weird mama and daddy. You know what I'm saying? Get me out of here immediately before I run away and you never hear from me again. I'll run away from Grandma and Grandpa. Mama, you don't want to come get me from the house. I'm gonna run. Y'all think, they laughing. On my beat, they laughing at me. Y'all think I'm playing? On my beat, right hand to God, bro. I'm telling you, I was that kid back then. I was the devil. I was a demon. I ran away from my home. Word up. Right hand to God, I ran away from my dad. Bro, talking about Mr. Marcellus. I call, whatever that man name is at Gerard Middle School, Mr. Marcellus, whatever his name is. My boy, Kevier Hardeman. He probably don't remember this. Little man, big man, we used to call him that. Twins. Bro, I'm chilling, bro. You feel me? Bro come and hit me out of nowhere, bro. Play fighting, so I hit bro back, roll it up. Right when I hit bro, it's a problem. He called my mama and he called my dad, though. He didn't get away with it, I get my dad. So for me, bro, I try to explain to my dad, bro, I ain't do nothing, bro. You know I'm gonna beat your butt when you get home. He ain't trying to hit none of that, all right? He said, if you gonna beat my butt when you get home, then. I already knew I'll run away, cause I'm like, bro, I ain't do nothing. That Gerard middle school teacher, bro, he was trying to find any way to call my dad on me, bro. Bro just hit me, bro. But when I hit him back as a problem, now I'm playing, now you gonna call my dad, bro. Cause my dad used to give numbers out to everybody. Call me when that nigga misbehave. Just call my number. I'm right up the street. Call me when that nigga misbehave. I got something for him. Nigga used to be ready to beat down. I couldn't blame him, though. I was a bad little nigga. You feel me? I'm talking about, bro, I ain't do nothing for real this time, y'all. I do a whole lot of ish. But I ain't do nothing for real this time. Man, bro, call my daddy, bro. Bro, talking about he gonna beat something down. Bro, I knew off the gate, bro. You know, you ain't beating nothing down. I ain't do nothing, boy. I knew I was running away. I ain't gonna lie. I guess I ain't gonna see you again, daddy. Shoot, boy, got that front door. Real store got that front door. Bro, like, bro, waiting for me. I knocked on the door. Get in the back. Come on, come on. He had a pad on his hand with tape around it. That nigga was strong too back then. Strong, man. Like, bro, nigga already hit my bro. He patted my brother, big brother with, but he had my brother butt cheek swole red. My mama had to yell at him, bro. He knocked my brother butt cheeks. My brother butt cheeks was like some big old balloon. You know what I'm saying? Red balloons. So I heard that, bro. I knew he did my brother like that, but he got me messed up. He's finna let my butt finna be big balloons. And my mama ain't here either, so there's no controlling this nigga. What really made me run away? I knew I was gonna run away anyway. What made me run away? That nigga said, nigga, get butt naked. That nigga said, get butt naked. You must be out your game, man. He said, get butt naked. Who finna get butt naked? Nigga, with that big old paddle you got in your hand. Nigga, you think I'm finna get butt? Nigga, you really think I'm gonna let you whoop me with this paddle, nigga? You really think I'm finna get butt naked, nigga? I don't give a dang even my parent, nigga. No. Not today. I took a lot of beatdowns. But nigga, if you think I'm gonna let you beat me with this paddle, nigga, you must be out your dang mind. No, nigga. That nigga come out, he seen it too. He ain't see me following when that nigga turn around like this. Hey, nigga, I said get back here. That nigga see me back here. Get your butt in this house. Nigga. Nigga started chasing me. Nigga chased me around the whole apartment complex. I just see my sister looking out the freaking bus window like, Jalen. Nigga wasn't catching me, and guess what? I got out of that whooping though. Police found me quick as heck too. I went to the next neighborhood. They found me quick as heck. I put on the show in front of man. I'm just tired of talk, man. I ain't do nothing, man. Bro, was trying to whoop me. I even made my mama cry. Put on the show, make sure I won't get that beat down.
Similar things happened periodically over the course of that week and the next, and when it came time to go home, I was relieved. When my mom picked me up, I told her everything. She laughed and said it was impossible to get my grandma out of bed after she fell asleep.
See?
Then she told me I had an active imagination and that old houses were creepy. She said Francisco never complained about anything when he stayed there. That made me feel like maybe I really was just imagining things. I went back the next summer, and the same things happened. I never actually saw my grandma's face, but I knew it was her. I started going to sleep much earlier to reduce the risk of being awake for something creepy to happen. Years went by. My parents stopped sending me to my grandparents' farm after a certain age, and a big part of me was relieved. My grandparents passed away when I was in college, within mere weeks of each other.
Bruh,
the funeral.
That was crazy. My grandma passed away like not too long after my granddad, bro. No cap. My grandma passed away. I think it's just something with that though. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened. My grandma and granddad too. My granddad, bro, died in 2014. My grandma ain't stay alive for too long after that. Bro, I stay alive until like I think my grandma did die like what 2015. She didn't stay too long after that.
Me to my grandparents' farm after a certain age, and a big part of me was relieved. My grandparents passed away when I was in college, within mere weeks of each other. The funeral was the most depressing thing ever. Besides how sad it was, I had to converse with a bunch of relatives I hadn't seen in years, which I wasn't thrilled about.
Can't stand that.
One such relative was Francisco, who I actually hadn't interacted with much, even though we were around the same age. It took less than a minute for me to realize I had nothing in common with him. Besides our age, the only thing we really did have in common was our shared time at the farm. So I asked him about it, not really knowing what else to talk about and feeling like something related to our grandparents was a valid topic of conversation. I told him about what I had experienced there, the footsteps, the figure, the closet door. I even told my theory about it being our grandma. I expected him to laugh or maybe agree with me, but I was wrong. With a blank expression, he said, and I'll never forget this, "That's nothing. That thing used to touch me." I listened in horror as he described things that were categorically worse than what I had experienced. He said the same figure would stand at the foot of his bed every few nights, but it didn't just watch him like it watched me. He would feel the mattress sink down like it was sitting. Then he would feel fingers on his face, tracing his features. Sometimes it would grab his wrist and hold it. He said he kept his eyes shut and remained frozen in place until it left. I asked him how he knew it wasn't one of our grandparents, and he said, almost like it was obvious, that he could feel it, that the thing that was touching him had rough and scratchy hands, unlike either of our grandparents. I looked at him in shock. I genuinely couldn't believe what he was telling me. Why would he keep something like that to himself?
Nigga, why would you keep something like that to yourself? The same way you kept something like that to yourself. What you said, what you experienced needs to be told, bro, to somebody. What you experienced, bro, that should have been told to your grandma and your granddad, bro. Why you keep that to yourself? What you experienced wasn't normal either, gang. So that was kind of a dumb question when you did the same thing he did, basically.
I genuinely couldn't believe what he was telling me. Why would he keep something like that to himself? I asked him that, and he said he didn't, that he told his mom about the occurrences several times.
And she just laughed.
She didn't believe him and actually got mad when he'd complain about it to her.
Man, bro, I can't.
So
I can't.
talking about
I can't, bro. Hey, bro, you don't want to hear about it? I bet I won't go to grandma. And, bro, whoop me, gang. I don't care. You ain't experiencing it, so you ain't going to believe me. I can't stand, bro. One thing I vow myself to not do is dismiss my kids. Y'all parents need to stop doing that, bro. Like, what you getting mad, bro? What you getting mad because I'm telling you what the freak I'm experiencing, bro? The audacity, I don't be saying, bro, some parents, bro, be weird. I'm going to keep it a buck. Y'all want to be real? Thank God I ain't have no weird parents. You know what I'm saying? My parents was like I said, Pop used to beat down, but Pop was overly real. I'm going to keep it real. He had some ways, bro, but who don't? But Pops was overly real. You know what I'm saying? Mama overly real. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't had them type of weird parents, but some parents be weirdos. And a lot of y'all, bro, y'all know. Some of y'all probably got some parents like, y'all ever be like on something like, bro, if you want my dad, bro, I really wouldn't even kick it with you for real. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? I had some of the moments, like I said, my dad had a little ways, but I'm not saying for me. You feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, I be kicking on my pops. My pops cool. You feel me? So I'm not talking about my parents. I just have to go and sleep. My pops cool. I be kicking on my best friend, bro. Go to church with her every Sunday, you know what I'm saying? You know? That's our little time. We bonded over church. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I be forgetting I be talking to my mama. Like my best friend, gang. Dead for real. You feel me? But that's why I said I'm not talking about my parents. I got a good relationship with my parents. You feel me? I'm just saying, like, when it comes to some of y'all, I know some of y'all got some weird parents, bro. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, and I know some of y'all probably be on some, like, cause y'all gotta, bro, y'all gotta exclude that daddy and mama. At the end of the day, man, that's still human at the end of the day, man. Some parents be weird as freak, bro. I ain't gonna cap, bro. Like on some like, bro, you want my mama, bro, we ain't kicking with you, bro. We ain't tolerate you. The only reason I'm tolerating you because you are my mom and my dad. Let's be real. Can I get a hallelujah? There you go. There you go. I heard you. I heard you. Hallelujah. Look at her. She feeling that. He feeling what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But nah, though, that's real, though. You feel me? That's why a lot of y'all parents be down on the deathbed on your own. You know what I'm saying? One thing that parents love, and I ain't gonna lie, my parents used to say this too. They don't say it no more. I don't need you for nothing. I ain't never gonna need, all right? Yeah, we need you. Right here. But when you get old, who you think you're gonna need? Who you think finna come at your rescue? I'm talking to parents. Just so you can get treated. I ain't got kids right now, but I see even though my parents was good parents, I learned what to do and what not to do. I sit back and learn what to do with my kids and what not to do with my kids. What did I like that my parents did and what I didn't like what my parents did. But some of y'all that got kids, even when you got babies, bro, start understanding, start listening. Because even though I ain't got kids, bro, it's wisdom, though. I sat back and look, I'm the youngest of two, gang. I sat back and looked, bro. youngest really be the smartest. We sit back and observe. So I know exactly what not to do and what to do with my kids. All off the wisdom all off the wisdom. So just think about it. I'm just saying, man. Yeah, your kids your kids needed you when they were young, but guess what? When you get old, you gonna need them. And a lot of y'all parents, when y'all kids they move out the crib, you don't hear nothing else from them. Because you know why? They don't like you like that. You feel me? So that's all I'm saying, bro. If your kid coming to you, bro, that right there, bro, that's why a lot of kids don't be talking to their parents about anything. Your kids should be able to talk to you about anything. No matter what it is, bro, anything. That should be a safe house. You doing things like this, like what this lady doing, getting mad, you know what I mean, not believing him. You doing things, make him not even want to talk to you. You feel me? Being real. Hold on, yo. Yep. Had to arm that alarm. Keep it real with y'all, bro. That's to arm that alarm.
Told himself that as long as he kept his eyes closed and didn't move, everything would be okay. Hearing him tell me that was quite literally horrifying. Not only did it confirm everything I myself had been experiencing, but it made things so much worse. Francisco and I stopped talking about it after that, and I could tell both of us just wanted to forget about the shared nightmare and leave it in the past with the rest of our childhood. But if it wasn't my grandma who was coming into my room at night, I don't like thinking about what it could mean. The way Francisco described it as a thing is something that still freaks me out. But is it any better thinking about how it might have been a human being? That would mean there was a person my grandparents didn't know about living in their house for years. I don't know which is worse.
Yeah, that's crazy though. That's something that parents, AJ, this is my brother name. This is my brother name. AJ.
When I was 9 years old, I lived with my parents in a narrow townhouse squeezed between two identical buildings.
I had to make sure who my big brother had to look into the store. I'm like, is this nigga AJ watching Mr. Nightmare? I would have had to call nigga, you right, Mr. Nightmare, nigga. I had to see it. Like, okay, he said townhouse. All right, that ain't us, nigga. That ain't us, nigga.
I lived with my parents in a narrow townhouse.
They say he lived with his parents. I'm like, all right, and we grew up with our parents. Let me see if you're going to describe Kinsey. I want to see if you're going to describe that house. I was finna call AJ. I'm telling him, hey, bro, big bro, you can ride Mr. Nightmare guy. When that happened to you, nigga?
Between two identical buildings. My bedroom was on the 3rd floor with a window that
was
into the house behind ours. The houses were so close that I could see straight into the room across from mine, which was maybe 20 feet away at most. For the longest time, there was never anyone in the window, but I used to look through it every so often out of curiosity anyway. One day, there actually was someone in the window. It was a girl. She looked to be about my age with dark hair and a ponytail. The other thing I remember about her was that she was wearing a yellow sweater. She waved at me and I waved back. Then she stepped out of the frame of the window. After that, we would wave every day after I got home from school. She was always there at 3:30, like she was waiting, and she always wore the same yellow sweater.
Yeah, it's nothing romantic about, like, if you want to talk, let's just talk. You know, looking through windows and all that, and then when I'm coming home, you just right there, like. But you know, with a girl being a girl, a lot of men tend to let their guard down. You know, a lot of women. He probably never had no girl interaction. He probably his first time having a girl interaction, so. Bro, ignoring all the weird stuff, but, you know, for me, I ain't gonna cat to you, you know, she missed me, she wants to kiss me, and your boy Jay had a lot of bad thing going on, so for me, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't trying to be cocky and nothing, but your boy Jay was a player from the Himalaya, y'all, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, you feel me, it's like, that's weird to me. I don't give a dang if you a girl, be fine as mug, I'ma wave. But then I'm going to get out that window right quick and I'm going to start thinking, why is this girl always by this dang window? I'm going to scoot out the window frame so she don't see me. And I'm going to start thinking to myself, why every time when I get around this, When I get home around this time, she waiting across the street in the window with the same yellow sweater. Oh, shot it weird. I gotta stop talking. That junk weird. I'm gonna keep it a buck. How the freak is you like here, like every day wait? Like think about it, y'all. I'm right here in them. Across the street, and every time y'all get home, she right there waiting. Like, dang, every day you right there waiting by the window? Nah, that's some weird joke. Yeah. But this right here, this is a nigga that never had a girl interaction. I can tell.
Through the windows. She would hold up drawings, and I would guess what they were.
She holding up drawings. Hey, bro, if you want to play games, bro, let's go down, get down the stairs. Let's go. Like, we right across the street. Why we gotta play games through the window? You can't interact or something?
I would show her my homework, and she would give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. On warm days, I would open my window and try talking to her, but she never opened hers.
You see what I'm saying? What's going on?
I smile and point to her ear like she couldn't hear through the glass. I figured her parents were strict about keeping the windows closed. One day, I asked my mom about the girl. My mom said the Murphys lived there, an older couple with no kids.
No kids?
I told her about the girl, and she said maybe they had a granddaughter visiting.
No kid?
That made me kind of sad, because it meant she would probably disappear one day.
So I'm talking to a demon.
But she didn't. She was there almost every day at around exactly the same time, and we played our games for 30 minutes to an hour before she would walk out of view. A few weeks later,
that's a demon.
I woke up around 2 a.m. to tapping. I walked over to my window and realized it was the girl. She was at her window, which was strange because I had never seen her at any time other than right after school. She wasn't smiling like she normally was. She pointed down at something I couldn't see and put her hands together like she was begging. I didn't know what she wanted, but it started to scare me, so I crawled back into bed. The tapping continued for a few more minutes and then stopped. She wasn't at the window for 3 days after that. I started thinking I had upset her by ignoring her that night.
Cool.
But then on the 4th night, the tapping woke me again. This time she was pressing both hands against the glass. Her mouth was moving like she was saying something, but I wasn't able to hear her since her window was closed. Her breath fogged up the window, which was strange because it was the middle of May and warm. She kept mouthing the same words. It honestly looked like she was saying, "Help me." Then she stepped back, and I saw something that made me freak out. There was a dark stain on her yellow sweater, like a blotch of paint or mud. I ran to my parents' room, almost crying. My dad ran to my room and looked out my window, but the light was off, and the girl wasn't in the window anymore.
Bro, this girl being kidnapped? My
parents convinced me it was just a nightmare.
Oh my God, man. Here we go with this little nightmare, man. Hey, man, I know what I seen, man. Hey, man. It's a little nightmare junk. Nigga, I'm not crazy, gang. All right, bro, I know I'm a little kid, but dang, I ain't dumb, bro. Freak, bro. I'm telling you, man, across the street, I'm seeing a girl, man, with a yellow sweater, man. Dang, bro. Trying to piss me off, gang. Parents always, it's a nightmare, man. I'm gonna say, who? You say, what you say, watch on? You say, watch on? What you see, man? Oh, what? I'm gonna take my parent, bro. Cause I experienced weird stuff as a kid, bro. I experienced that strange junk as a kid, bro. I experienced that type of stuff, bro. So my kids say something, I know you ain't lying, because I remember seeing certain things. I remember seeing singing VeggieTales by my door. I remember seeing that junk. Singing toys. I told y'all about that. Singing toys. I seen singing toys. Worth the game. What they say in New York, worth of my mother. You ain't got to believe me. I'm telling you right now. First story we just did with Weston, you wouldn't believe him either. You know what I'm saying? Tell you. I told this story a lot of times, but I seen singing toys like Woody in Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear talking, singing. You know what I'm saying? Seen all type of weird stuff when I was a kid. Think I ain't finna believe my child, bro, after what I see? You know what I'm saying? See, the parents that do this is the parents that never, is the people that never experienced nothing. See, with y'all think that junk fugazi, bro. Junk happened to you, bro. You ain't gonna even believe this happened. Bro, you gonna be so shocked what the freak going on. Bro, you gonna be so shocked. You don't think you tripping. I'm telling you, watch how that junk happen to you. Watch how that junk, hopefully it don't ever happen. But man, bro, that junk happened to you, bro. You ain't gonna know what the freak going on. I ain't know what the freak to do. When I seen that junk, you think, I ain't know what to do. I was in shock, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I mean, it was an apartment, field, Chris. I'm in an apartment and everything. I seen them little talking toys. If I'm lying them down.
Back to sleep. The next afternoon, after the girl didn't show up in the window, I climbed our back fence and saw Mrs. Murphy in her garden. I smiled and waved, and she looked happy to see me, even though we had never met. I asked her about the girl in the third-floor room. She stopped smiling, set down her watering can, and walked a little closer to the fence.
I would have said, Miss Murphy, it's a girl in your room, Miss Murphy. You would have sat down. Miss Murphy, why you moving too close? Wait a minute. Trying to kidnap me like you kidnapped the girl in the room?
She stopped smiling, set down her watering can, and walked a little closer to the fence. The way she stopped smiling so abruptly kind of scared me. She asked how long I had been seeing her. I told her a few weeks. She asked what this little girl looked like, and I described her dark hair and yellow sweater, and how she never opened her window. Then Miss Murphy told me to go back inside. I thought I was in trouble. Things changed a lot after that day. I was pretty sure Mrs. Murphy called my mom, which made me think I was in trouble even more. My parents moved my bed to the opposite wall that same night. They hung thick curtains over my window, the heavy kind that blocked all the light. When I asked why, they said it was to help me sleep better, but I knew something was wrong. The next day, on the way home from school, my mom told me I couldn't play the waving game anymore. When I asked why...
Bro, just ask why, bro. Like, why? Tell them why, bro. You always trying to hide stuff. You gotta understand, gang. You doing this to your child make things worse. Now he gonna be wondering why he can't see old girl no more. Why he can't play the waving game. You just tell him straight up, then he gonna know the real. One thing about me, bro, I'm gonna tell my kids the real. I'm telling you. And that's one thing that I admire about my parents, bro. My parents never hid life from me. My parents kept it real. Y'all know them type of parents, bro, like, they be trying to hide life from their kids. I can't stand that type of parenting. But don't hold life from your kid. I'm not finna hold life from none of my kids. I'm gonna tell, yeah, death is real. I'm gonna take you to funerals. I'm gonna take it from a little kid. I knew death was real, but I've been knowing death, bro, ever since I was like 11 years old. See my Uncle Sam, see my granddad, I see my grandma. You know what I'm saying? I seen my cousin. Seen so many people in the casket. Seen my other cousin, Kendra. Seen dang near, bro. I seen like dang near double digit people's in casket. I've been seeing people in casket, bro, since I've been little. I seen my other grandma. You feel me? Seen a lot of people in the casket. Ever since I've been little, that's one thing that my parents never did was hide life from me. So I knew death was real from a young age. I wasn't one of them that thought we could live forever. I knew this junk was real. They never hid life from me. I knew I could be killed. I knew bad things can happen to me. Yes. It's best to grow up your child like that, bro. So it made me more aware growing up as a kid. You try to hide your kid from the world, bro. That's dangerous, hiding your kid from the world, gang. You know what I mean? Because he run out here thinking everything a game. You feel me? And then something bad, you know what I'm saying? You gotta teach your kid. You gotta teach your kid about the world. Now this right here, guess what this gonna do with him? It's gonna make him wonder, why can I not play the waving game anymore? I'm gonna go back to the window and try to figure out what's the problem. Now it's gonna make him wonder more. Now it's gonna make him do something stupid because he wanna know why he can't play the waving game. That's what kids do. Now you got him in this wondering space. Now you got him in this like, I need to know why I can't play this game anymore. I need to know why I can't see this girl. I need to know why. Now you got him in this mysteries. Kids, they mysterious, bro. Try to do dumb. You see how he went over to Miss Murphy? He trying to know what the heck going on. He's wondering. He's mysterious. It's better off you just saying why the freak he can't play that game no more. Whatever's going on with that girl, tell that boy. You feel me? So he'll know like, okay, I don't want to do that. But you just saying, you just not telling him, bro, it's only going to make him try to find out why he can't do it. That's how kids is, bro.
From school.
It's so best to be real with kids. It's so best to be real with kids.
My mom told me I couldn't play the waving game anymore.
See, I can't play the waving game. Mommy, why can't I play the waving game? Because I said you can't. That's how a lot of parents going to end the conversation. Because I said you can't. Close the door. That boy finna find out why he can't play that waving game. He gonna find out why he can't play the waving game and you ain't gonna know nothing about it. And then something bad happened to your kid because you didn't want to tell him. Little things like that matter, bro. Something bad started happening. He tried to go over to the house. He tried to do some dumb, because you didn't even know he went to go see Miss Murphy. He did it on his own. You know what I'm saying? Just saying, bro. But if you tell them, bro.
Hey, on the way home from school, my mom told me I couldn't play the waving game anymore. When I asked why, she just said I was too old for imaginary friends.
Imaginary friends.
I told her she wasn't imaginary, that I had seen her for months. My mom just repeated that I couldn't go to the window anymore.
Okay.
I was so confused and honestly hurt. No one would explain anything to me.
See?
My friend was gone. She never appeared in the window again. My parents acted like I had done something wrong by seeing her. Not like I could express my feelings to them anyway.
See? I was disobeying them. See what I'm saying? That's why kids can't talk to their parents. That's why kids feel like they can't talk to their parents, bro. Because of little things like this. How you getting mad at him for him telling you what he seen? Talking about I'm having imaginary friends. All bro was doing was talking about what the girl you was seeing in his window, but you getting mad at me for telling me what I seen. Like, what? Make it make sense, bro. Parents be getting mad over the stupidest things.
I had done something wrong by seeing her.
Like what?
Not like I could express my feelings to them anyway. I was disobeying them by just going to the window in the first place.
I'm gonna disobey.
We moved like a year later. It wasn't until I was in high school that my mom finally explained things to me. Or, more specifically, what Mrs. Murphy had told her. Apparently, the previous owners had a daughter named Jenna. She was 11 when she was hit by a car right in front of the house. It happened just after school, and she was wearing a yellow sweater on that fateful day.
Wow.
The family moved out shortly after. When the Murphys bought the house, they tried to use that third-floor room, but ended up sealing it completely after things kept happening. My mom didn't really elaborate on that part. I don't think she knew. She just said that Mrs. Murphy had always been very spiritual. I'm 34 now. I live in a house with no windows facing other buildings. That's not an accident. I developed a kind of phobia for windows. Reflective surfaces, too. I've had a couple dreams about that girl in the window over the years. It's never a bad dream. I never see her with a stain on her sweater like I had that one night, but she doesn't smile in my dreams like she used to smile at me. This will forever be one of those freaky experiences that just doesn't have an explanation.
That's crazy. Dang. That's crazy. So he was basically seeing a girl that passed away. That's crazy, bro. And he's seen it. He's seen it. He's seen it too. You know what I'm saying? He's seen it. But hopefully y'all enjoyed that like I did. You know what I'm saying? They ain't near an hour vid. You know what I mean? Like crazy. I turned the hour vid. I turned out a 25-minute vid to an hour vid. Only Jay can do that. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's your boy Jay, man. Take it easy. We end up like busy, man. Boy Jay out, man. Gang.